Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Hey, today is a different kind of video. Today's video is a personal message from me to my fellow Americans and people around the world that maybe are looking for another option, a different place to live, maybe a different place to retire, or maybe in general, you never thought about retiring in Southeast Asia or living in Southeast Asia. Well, stick around. This is the video for you. And before I get into the video itself, I have a disclosure, okay? And Passport to Thailand, the YouTube channel, is apolitical. We don't lean to the right, left, upside down, backwards. Politics has nothing to do with this channel. Thai politics has nothing to do with this channel, and certainly American politics. So this channel is all about freedom, independence, options, and Thailand. If you've never thought about Thailand, this channel is for you. My goal is to show you what daily life is like living in Thailand and traveling all throughout Southeast Asia. And in this video, what I'm going to talk to you about is how I got here, what my background's all about, and how I had no intention of ever coming to Thailand, but here I am. So before I do the video, I want to just say this. To my American friends and my fellow Americans, I understand that in about 30 days, there's going to be a new presidential election, and there's going to be a new president. And I know based on the statistics and watching some TV in the US that, half of the country, whoever gets elected is going to be happy, and half of the country's not. And that's just the way it is. And what the future holds for the U.S. and that whole thing is just something that I have no idea. And I'm outside of that blast zone, so to speak. I've been here for several years and I don't follow the politics anymore. I've got my new life here in Thailand. So that's what this video is about. I want to talk about how I got here and maybe relate to you personally, and hopefully I can give you some information that's helpful. And specifically, if you're thinking about relocating or you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're within that 10-year mark of retirement, this video is for you. So my story starts back in 2008, and I worked in the financial industries for 30 years. Worked my way up into executive levels, and towards the end of my career, I left corporate America and opened up 2 small financial services companies, and did that for a number of years, and then eventually retired and came to Thailand. But let me tell you about the journey, and maybe you can relate to it. So in 2008, I was at a financial firm, and I was at a director level, and there was a gentleman that had been there for a long, long time. And he had been there, I believe it was coming on 30 years. At the end of 2008, he was going to retire, and he was going to be 62 years old. And so I knew of him and met with him many, many times, and very nice guy. And for those of you that lived through 2008, you know that it was a massive financial crash in the United States. And it went on for several years. And as a matter of fact, it took till 2013 for things to really start turning around. So with that being said, what I experienced through 2008 personally was very devastating financially, but also the people that I worked with that were getting ready to retire later that year, the one gentleman in particular lost 50% of his pension. He had had a small 401k from a previous job years ago that was decimated, and most of his market type of investments were 50% or less than what they were. It was devastating for him. He told me the whole story. He was very open and honest about his situation. And he said, Jim, at the end of the year when I was ready to retire, he goes, I can't. And he goes, I don't know how long I'll have to work to recover from this. He said, but, I don't know that I'm going to be able to live long enough to recover the losses that I took. It was that devastating for him. And of course, for me, in my early 40s at the time, and I'm looking at him and understanding the impact that he's going through, and him and millions of Americans went through that, which was horrible. It changed me. The light bulb went off after the conversation I had with him in his office about retirement was either not going to happen, or he was going to have to sell everything and downsize significantly to an uncomfortable level just to be able not to work. What he ended up doing was he stayed an extra 6 months, I believe, finally retired. He did downscale significantly and worked part-time in a little consulting to augment the losses that he needed financially monthly to make things work for him. So big kick in the shins to me. So that's where my story starts. And so over the next several years after that, I started looking hard at I was getting close to 50, and started looking at my retirement. Like, what's it gonna be like? And what could I expect? Can I actually retire at 62? And it was, yeah, probably, if there were no other major financial depressions or anything like that, market collapses, real estate collapses, whatever, during the next, several years till I got close to retirement. And so I thought, wow, that's a big risk, huge risk. And, I already saw what happened to people in 2008, and I don't want to live through that. And I certainly don't want to wait till 62 and have worked my entire life to have to downsize, sell everything I've worked my whole life for to be able to just live in some little small place so I could not have to work. To me, that's unacceptable. And so I was really starting to search significantly at that time and look at different options. And now at the time I was looking at Europe and I was looking at South America. I had spent time in South America. I think it's a beautiful country, amazing people, and the cost of living is significantly less depending on which country you're going to. And so I started looking in those directions. And then in my late 40s, I went through some significant life changes and life events. And with that taking place, I needed a vacation. And so what I did was I took a well-deserved vacation overseas in Southeast Asia. And I spent a month in Southeast Asia, specifically in Thailand. And my wife's from Thailand originally, but she lived most of her life in the US. And so she knows I needed a break. And so we went over here to Thailand, and I just absolutely fell in love with the country. The food, the people, the culture, the day-to-day life, Bangkok, the mountains. I live up in northern Thailand in the mountains. It's beautiful. And so I had a great time, spent a lot of time here, and then went back to the States, took my 24-hour flight all the way back to the United States, and got back in, a few weeks, back into the grind again and all of that. And while I was, still reminiscing about my time in Thailand, I started thinking about my friend from 2008. And I thought about what he had went through. And it really made me take a hard look at my retirement one more time. And so what I did was, just going fresh off of Southeast Asia and Thailand as my vacation, I crunched the numbers with my wife and we looked at it, and we found out after spending some honest time, calculating things out, that we could retire right now and be very comfortable and actually live much better and have a much higher quality of life in Thailand if I retired in my early 50s than in the United States. And I'm going to tell you about that. So what we did was we planned it out, and it took about a year. And she had a business and I had businesses, and we had a couple pieces of real estate, and we made some maneuvers and made some adjustments with that. And ultimately at the end of that year, we retired. Came overseas, came here to Thailand, and we built our dream home. And we're on 2 acres, just outside of a city in the country. The front of my house, right now I'm looking through the windows at beautiful mountains, which I'll show you in the future. I think I've shown you in a few videos. In the back of my house, I have beautiful mountain views, and we have a beautiful river that goes through the back of the yard too, surrounded by lush green rice fields and bamboo jungle forests on each side. It's breathtaking, and the house is beautiful. And I could never have this house in the U.S. With this property, this view, and this house and the way it was built, in the U.S. it'd probably be somewhere between 1.5 and 1.8 million to have a house like this in the United States. Certainly couldn't do that, and I did well, but certainly not that well to be able to afford this kind of a lifestyle. And with our investments and what we did and some things that we sold, we paid cash for this house and had it built. Could never have done that in the United States. So I'm here in Thailand. I'm 55, and as of this video right now, and we're debt free. Our house is paid for, our cars are paid for. We have very little expenses every month, less than, I think it's like $500 a month, and that includes electric. We have Wi-Fi. Our cell phones are $15 a month for 5G unlimited. Go figure, right? Love Thailand. I was paying, not to go off on a rabbit hole here, but I had Verizon in the United States, and I think I paid a little over $200 a month. The service I get here is way better, way better. And 5G, unlimited text and all that. I think it's $15.88 or something like that. It's insane the quality difference between the United States and here on a cost basis. So that being said, that's why I came to Thailand from the United States. What is this doing for you? What is my goal in making this video for you? I know a lot of you are in a pinch. You're looking at the future from a political standpoint, from a personal standpoint, from a potential retirement standpoint, and you might not be looking at a very favorable retirement based on things that have happened. And I understand that. And I was in your shoes. And I just want you to know that there's options. Now, is Thailand for everyone? No, of course not. I kind of say Thailand is kind of like an acquired taste. You either like it or you don't. I've met hundreds of Americans that live here right now, expats from all around the world, from different countries as well. Southeast Asia in general, I think, is a fantastic option, even outside of Thailand. Vietnam is fantastic. Da Nang is a beautiful city. The beaches are pristine. It's a modern city, and it's very low cost. You've got Singapore, which is, of course, over the top. It's amazing. You've got Malaysia, which is beautiful, Kuala Lumpur. You've got the Philippines, if that's an interest to you. I mean, amazing islands are just, and there's Americans everywhere, and across Europe, and across South America, and in Australia. There's a lot of different options. And my goal in this video is to help you realize there's options, and don't fear the options. Go investigate. And I know at the end of this month and early November, there's a lot of anxiety about what's going to happen. What I can tell you is this: whatever happens, happens. Okay? But what is important is how you react to it and what you do to better yourself and your future. Okay? I'm here to help. Passport to Thailand is the channel. You can always contact me directly if you have questions. I'm an open book. I love what I do here in Thailand. The little YouTube channel that I have, I've been talking to people from all around the world. It's a ton of fun for me, and I love giving you advice. And I might not have all the answers, but I'm willing to talk to you and help you explore Thailand as a possible option to go and live, raise a family, or retire. Okay? I hope this was helpful. I hope you took something out of it. And if you did, if you could send a like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be really great. I really appreciate it. So with that, breathe easy, my friends, my fellow Americans. There's always an option in life. You might have to look outside the box a little bit, but it might be the best thing you've ever done for yourself. So with that, have a great day. Hey, everybody, thanks for sticking around on this video. It means a lot to me. And if you could share this video with someone that you think it might help, I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, remember, in life, there's always an option, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.